Welcome to our posts. Today we will see stories of r/entitled parents. I told my entitled grandmother is too little too late for a grandmother-granddaughter relationship. This happened a year ago. I, 26 female at the time in 2021, have only a living paternal grandmother, 90 female. Growing up I tried to bond and form any form of emotional connection, but it only caused me to not be related to her by blood. I would get compared to her favorite grandchildren. She would constantly abuse me emotionally, told me constantly that I was the black sheep of the family, and told me I wasn't going to succeed in life, which is why I tried to live myself, because she motivated them most of the time. The last straw for me was when my older brother died. He was 25 male, and told my grieving parents that another filthy soul out of this world. My brother was an innocent soul that was killed off for only eating in a fast food restaurant, and I snapped at her telling her, the day your funeral comes you'll probably wear the brightest red dress I have in my closet, because you'll never mourn your loss, on the contrary you'll celebrate when that happens. This happened in 2014. Since then, at every family event, I would avoid her or pretend she doesn't exist. Hell, I would even skip going to her birthday parties. So last November she got sick, and she wanted all her children and grandchildren to take care of her in the hospital, since her favorite daughter, my aunt, 52 female, and her favorite grandchildren, 33 female, 31 male and amp, 25 female, can't do it. She said this to my dad over the phone, and I told her, sorry, but my grandparents died in 2004 and 2012, and I don't have any other grandparents since I am not a granddaughter to my last living grandparent. She started to cry, more like manipulate, and told me that I am her granddaughter and this could be a good moment to bond and mend our relationship. I said to her, now I am your granddaughter? I needed you for 26 years, but in those 26 years you broke me emotionally, and I can't since I study and work. Plus there is no relationship to save. I hung up for my father before she could say anything. I've been told I am a horrible human being for what I've said to her, but I don't feel sorry at all for her. I mean, she dug her own grave, now she can go and lie in it for all I care. That's karma for you. Next story. Yes, I'm a child care specialist. No, I will not stop partying. Okay, let's go. This happened yesterday on the bus to a pub with myself and 4 of my friends. We are LGBTQ+ and gothic, so I want you to imagine what we look like, not on the job. I am a child care professional and work in a nursery near my home. I work in the preschool, ages 3 to 5, and am very well received in my field. Other nurseries often request my help with observations, room design, parental-related issues, etc. So I am often spotted in nurseries that are not mine and often make conversations with parents I would never usually cross. There's my backstory. Now onto the story. My friends and I are on our way to our local pub on the bus on a Saturday evening. We aren't incredibly loud, but it's an empty bus, and we're jolly. When a mother and young boy come onto the bus, I recognize her, although no idea where from. I try to keep my head down because I also don't want to interact with any work responsibilities. She hits down away from me and I sigh thankfully. I go back to our conversation and forget about it. I want to stress we are 10 minutes from being in the clear. The mother stands up and walks towards us. I notice instantly and nudge my friends to quieten down. Hello, aren't you OP? From my nursery? Yeah, that's me. I'm sorry, I recognize you, but I can't place you. Which nursery do you go to? Other nearby nursery. Ah, lovely, and he's in the preschool, right? Lovely place. Yeah, it is. You look a bit different from work. I almost didn't recognize you, she said, and her face scrunched up, like, actually putting her nose in the air. Ah, yeah, well, I'm often in a uniform and no makeup, so this is what I usually look like, I guess. The group were silent. She was silent, I was silent. It was so awkward for like 2 minutes. My friend to my left cleared his throat and said, is there anything else? Are you drinking? Yes. Haven't you go work? No, there is no nursery on the weekends, I said. Well, aren't you on the clock for babysitting? I do babysit often, however, parents have to book in advance and I am free this weekend. Well, what if there is an emergency? I think parents have family members that could help. Like I said, they have to book in advance. Aren't you in work on Monday? I am, but I won't drink tomorrow, I will just recover. Don't you think that's irresponsible? Also, what if some parents see you drunk? That's unprofessional. It would be unprofessional if I was working, but I'm not working, I have the weekend off. And what if you see one of your kids out? They're not my responsibility outside of work. Of course, I will always be delightful and kind, but they are not my responsibility. But don't you think it's unprofessional? My friend started laughing at this point, purely because she didn't seem to grasp the fact I wasn't working. No, I don't. I believe I am allowed to go out and spend my free time as I choose, much like everyone else. Right, and you think dressing like that is appropriate? Yes, because I will be going to a club after the pub. It has been lovely seeing you, but this is our stop, so I'll have to say goodbye, I said. It was not my stop was the next stop, but my friends had been drinking and I do not trust them. We all got off and had a few minutes of walking, but none of us could stop talking about the interaction. My friend walked into the pub and scooped the floor, making sure no parents with kids were there. Okay, floor is clear, my name, can enter, she said, and I laughed as I walked to the table. Nothing exciting, just a pure lunatic. Next story. My parents-in-law went nuclear for not offering my brother-in-law high salary. I have a brother-in-law, and let's call him conveniently Bill. He is 26 years, 2 times university dropout and never worked, even no summer job, but okay lad as a person, just a little bit Kevin. I work in large company and I have ability to create positions, hire and fire within my department. One day my parents-in-law asked me if I could find some work for Billy. Despite we did not need anybody in my department for additional unskilled labor, I went for 3 weeks through hoops and corporate gymnastics to create a position for him and justify it to my superiors why we need this position and why not create public job offer for it. I think I blew all my favors and definitely owe some now. The day finally came when I received contract for him from HR. He was supposed to be back office administrator or in a human language clerk. The salary was set tiny bit under national median for this position, but I simply could not justify more. This weekend I brought the contract to Billy, who lives with his parents, and present him the contract, and here we go. For perspective, 1,300 netto here is average living cost for a single person outside of city centers. Me, and here is your salary, the bottom line, which shows what will appear on your bank account after tax and social security. Billy, 1,300 euros is not much, is it? Me, it is entry position and your job is really just pulling from archive or archiving with occasional data entry, but see here, I pointed at benefits, each year you are eligible for certain salary increase. Billy, I thought I will become your partner or something like that. Me, well you going to be something like my assistant. When I need something, I will tell back office manager and she might assign it to you. His father joined in. Father, what? You are making my son your errand boy and for such pittance, this is humiliating. Me, frankly he does not have. He interrupted me. Father, everybody knows that you managers are sitting there all day doing nothing, so why my son cannot? Me, listen, I cannot make him project manager in an engineering company. If it is about money, I can put a word for him into assembly hall, they always want people and salary is way higher, but it is really hard work. Father, grease monkey? Like some Eastern Europe immigrant? Me, that's actually also quite bit qualified worker position, I meant like assembly worker on belts, hard job, but as I said better salary, including paid overtime with more vacation than I have and actually pretty decent chance of promotion. Father, why don't you put him in coal mine right away then? Or better, make him. Me, we are done here. Billy, if you do not come tomorrow at 7 a.m. to my office, I will put this offer to Ministry of Labor for active job seekers and good luck with your CV. Father and this married my daughter. Me door slam. Topics he called afterwards with my wife. Your husband thinks so little of us that he wanted your brother to be his lackey for grand a month. Now I am happy you do not have kids yet, he would probably put them on farm field. If he abuse you let me know, I will knock his teeth out. Conclusion he came today at 7 a.m. to my office to see those assembly belts despite wishes of his father, but with encouragement from his sister, my wife. Next story. Parents planned me a surprise party then made me pay for the whole event. For my 21st birthday, my parents planned a surprise party at this themed bar with my roommates. Some context, I had just gotten out of the hospital, with permission from my doctor to have only the amount quantity of a shot of alcohol, and still recovering. So all my money has gone to medical bills and recovery. I didn't have a lot on me or in my bank. The party was great. My parents told me they were gonna leave early cause they can't stay up to 3 a.m. drinking and partying. Understandable. On the way out, my dad walks over to my tipsy but only had as much as I was allowed, but due to blood alcohol ratio, it was a lot for me, and whispers to me, "Hey, bud. Happy birthday. You know your mom and I are low on cash, can you pay for tonight? The bill has gone over $400 at this point, I'll pay you back." In my dazed state, I said, "Sure, Dad." It overcharged my card, costing me an extra $30 the next day. Thankfully, my roommates, being the beautiful people they are, helped me out and paid the 30 with some more just so my bank wouldn't yell at me. I'm 24 now. Never got paid back. Every time I bring it up to my father, he says he will, then doesn't. Rinse and repeat. If you can't pay for a party you're hosting/planning, don't plan it. I would have been totally fine having a small party at home with some wine coolers or something, which would have been much cheaper if I had to pay for it with my very limited funds. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure like, comment, share and subscribe the channel or posts.